Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1948 Smith Corona Sterling vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And these are your front paper fingers. You just want to make sure that they are on the edges of the page and the margins back here. That's how you move them. You want to make sure they're in between those two paper fingers so they don't get stuck on them. That looks pretty good. And has two paper support arms that flip up from the back. You can do it like that, or be cool like me and cross them. Let's test those margins. You just want to make sure you're not on the left side here. If you are too close, then that vibrator can get stuck on that and then cause maybe some ink problems with those first couple characters. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips one or two spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip this switch forward. It skips two. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on this next line. Beautiful. Very nice. It has a very classic feel to it. Print looks really good. Really reliable typewriter, all metal. So this is made in America back when a lot of the good stuff was made here. Nothing plastic on this thing. You buy something brand new, it's all plastic and cheap metal. It'll break as soon as you take it out of the box. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. We're going to put these down for now. So the Sterling name is just kind of, this is when it was really designed to be a Sterling. It's got the Sterling fixtures with a fancy handle here, and you know, everything just looks Sterling like. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the left side of the keyboard works good. Tab on the right side. This has a manual set tab. So I'm going to show you how you set those. You just pull out these little tabs right here, and the shortest side will go on the outside. And there's a scale on there to tell you exactly what space it's set on. If you have these facing the wrong direction, then you'll get stuck on this margin. I don't know if you can see that. This margin has the bell hammer underneath it, and that will get stuck on your tabs if you don't have them set properly. So you just hit the tab button and it stops at each one of those. That works good. Underneath that is the margin release. So you get to the end of the margin. There's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. If you hit that margin release button, it will allow you to go all the way to the end or until you get stuck on that paper finger. That works good. Color selector is above the tab here. We have a solid black ribbon installed, but if you had a black and red, the red would be on bottom. So you just flip this down all the way and it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. As you can see, the vibrator goes up higher. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. That vibrator doesn't move. And that's for stenciling. So a lot of people ask about what that does. I honestly do not know. All I know is that it leaves a stencil, and there's some technology back then, a long time ago, that was able to pick up the stencil and make copies. And I would just guess that that's so you don't waste ink. So you put it on stencil, you don't have to waste ink if you're going to make copies. And all typewriters got it. So anyway, if you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. And since it's a solid black ribbon, you can double use the top and the bottom. So you get twice the amount of use. If you don't use red, then just go solid black and you get way more ink. Open the hood, all the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch that direction, you just flip this switch down and it pulls counterclockwise to the left. Flip it down again, clockwise to the right. So it's a single flip and it just switches each time. On the inside here is the touch control. The farther up high you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit them a little bit harder for them to print. A lot of people, they find, so you got to, if you use this and just find what your pressure point is, you might have a lot more pleasant of writing experience with your typewriter. This is the carriage lock in the front. It releases the carriage and locks it in the middle with this little thing here. This little portion of that lever just locks right there. So when you have it in the case, it protects the escapement. which is the mechanism that allows the carriage to move one space at a time. All you got to do is pull the carriage out to the right a little bit and it unlocks that. And there's a carriage release behind it that doesn't lock it, it just releases it and allows you to move it where you want it. Very smooth. Same concept with this one. Very smooth. This little lever got popped out when I was doing the tabs. If you push it in, which is where it's supposed to be, you get the clicks when you turn the flatten knob. If you pull it out, it disables the clip. It's called a roll, I guess. So it just allows you to roll so you can get to an exact spot on the page without having to navigate through those clicks. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.